total number of electrons equals to 6. So molecular orbital electronic configuration, sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, 6 electrons completed. Bond order equals to half of bonding electrons 4, anti-bonding electrons 2. That means bond order is 1. So that there is a single bond between the two lithium atoms in a molecule. So that lithium is a metal. So the question arises whether it exists or not. Practically it was proved that Li2 molecule, Li2 exists in vapor phase. Since all electrons are paired, we can write down it is a diamagnetic. Next one, let us take Be2. Total number of electrons, 4 plus 4 equals to 8 electrons are present, and molecular orbital electronic configuration is sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2. So that bond order, without calculation also we can see that when the number of bonding electrons and anti-bonding electrons are equal means bond order is 0. So that half of the, here 4 minus 4 equals to 0. That means Be2 doesn't exist. Next molecule, boron. Be2 molecule. Total number of electrons are equals to 10 electrons. Molecular orbital electronic configuration, sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, pi 2p x1 equals to pi 2p y1. You can see that these are 8 plus 2, 10 electrons. So unpaired electrons are present. So it is a paramagnetic. And bond order equals to half of the bonding electrons. So that these 1s, sigma 1s, sigma star 1s usually called the KK shells, closed shells. So that is not required every time because anyhow they get cancelled out. We can take the remaining electrons. So bonding electrons 2 plus 2, 4. Here 2 electrons are there. So that bond order is equals to 2 by 2 equals to 1. So there is a single bond between the two boron atoms. Now let us have the comparison between the H2, Li2 and Be2 molecules. So first of all, let us write down their electronic configuration once again. H2, Li2 and Be2. Total number of electrons. Here 2 electrons, 6 electrons, here 10 electrons are there. So molecular orbital electronic configuration, sigma 1s2. This is sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2. And in this case directly I am starting from here, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, pi 2p x1 equals to pi 2p y1. So number of bonding electrons, here only 2 electrons are there. Here 2 plus 2, 4 electrons are there. Here 2 plus 2, 4 plus this one, 6 electrons are there. Number of anti-bonding electrons. Anti-bonding electrons in this case 0. And lithium molecule 2 anti-bonding electrons are there. And boron molecule 2 plus 2, 4 anti-bonding electrons are there. What about their bond order? H2 molecule bond order is 1, Li2 1, B2 also 1. So now let us write down the bond order. H2 equals to Li2 equals to B2 molecule. Then when it comes to the bond length basically depends on the size of the atom. If size of the atoms are similar, then depends on the anti-bonding molecular orbital electrons. So that size of the lithium is greater than the boron. Boron is greater than the hydrogen. Then bond enthalpy. So smaller the bond length, higher the bond enthalpy. Here we purely depends on the size of the atom. So hydrogen size is smaller, so that higher bond enthalpy. Next boron, next one is Li2. So this is the comparison between the H2 molecule, Li2 molecule as well as the B2 molecule. Now let us see the other molecules. C2 molecule. Total number of electrons equals to 12 electrons. Molecular orbital electronic configuration sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, pi 2px and pi 2py. If you say already 8 electrons completed, so that 2 plus 2 4, 8 plus 4 equals 12 electrons completed, and no unpaired electrons, so it is a diamagnetic in nature. When it comes to the bond order, number of bonding electrons, let us cancel these two, so that 2, 4, 6 are there. Anti-bonding electrons only 2 are there. 4 by 2 equals to 2. So there is a double bond between the two carbon atoms in the C2 molecule. Interesting thing is, these 2 electrons, whatever the bond order is coming from the only pi orbital electrons. Why? Because starting last electrons only 2 are there. So that will create the 2 bonds. Hence it was considered that C2 molecule has 2 pi bonds and no sigma bond. And C2 molecule do exist. It exists in vapor state.